Okay, so now we're going to jump into our next LEQ and take time right now to go ahead and get this LEQ written down. I want to point out a couple things within this LEQ. First thing is that you already have learned the properties of exponents. You've also learned scientific notation. So what we're doing for this next LEQ is we're taking our properties of exponents and working with doing operations such as multiplying and dividing. So this here, when it says operating, means multiplying or dividing numbers in scientific notation. When we do that, go ahead and get down this next part of your notes. Multiplying numbers in scientific notation, we apply our properties of exponents. Okay. So we multiply the coefficients. And then when we look at our base of 10 and those exponents, we apply our properties of exponents. So when you're multiplying, you add the exponents. So let me give you an example of what we're talking about. Everything I do here, you're doing in your composition book. So if we had this number, 10 to the 5th, and I wanted to multiply that number, which is in scientific notation, by another number in scientific notation, okay, I want to point out a couple parts. So within this, my first part that I notice is I have these numbers right here. We call those our coefficients. The next part that we have is we have 10 and 10. Those are our bases. And the final part that we have is we have our 3 and our 5. Those are our exponents. So go ahead and label these parts with me. So we've got our exponents, we have our bases, and we have our coefficient. All right, so now you take this and we multiply our coefficients. Because everything is multiplication, we can go ahead and we can change the order according to the associative and commutative properties. So I can do my one coefficient times my other coefficient. And then I can do my 10 to the power of 5 times 10 to the power of 3. So here, this is just multiplication. So off to the side here, I'm going to remind us how we multiply decimals. There's no exponents with it. There's no other operations. This is just multiplication. So 8 times 7 is 56. 6 carry my 5. 8 times 0 is 0, plus 5 is 5. 8 times 1 is 8. I'm moving to my second place value, so I had a 0 as a placeholder. Again, I have 56. 8 times 0 is 0. Add the 5. 8 times 1 is 8. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add those. 6, 5 plus 6 is 11. 8 and 1 is 9, plus 5 is 14. Carry my 1, 9. Now remember with my operations or my decimals, I have to count my decimal places. So there I have 2, 1, 2 place values. Here I have 1. So in this answer here, my product, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3. Because I add my 2 and my 1 to get 3. So here my new coefficient is 9. Oh, come on. Woo, it's acting up. So my new coefficient here is 9. Let's try typing this. So it'd be 9 and 400 and there we go. Yep, perfect. All right, so now I'm going to take a look, and I'm going to take a look at my base. So I have a base of 10 and another base of 10. Because those bases are the same, I can look at my exponents and apply my properties of exponents. So again, I have a 5 and I have a 3. Because they're the same exponent or the same base, I can add my exponents. So I keep this as multiplication. There you go. I keep this as multiplication. And my base is 10. And then 5 plus 3 gives me 8. So my new answer here is 10 to the power of 8. So that would be my final answer. It's still in scientific notation. And again, I multiplied my coefficients and then I applied my properties to my exponents and added my exponents.